The holiday season is usually a busy time for most people, myself included. Not only because of Christmas, the most stressful holiday ever, but also because it marks the ending of yet another year. And I usually like to end it off with a bang by finishing some projects before the new year starts. But unfortunately, doing that on top of all the Christmas stuff means I end up getting tired. Last December, I fell into that trap because I scheduled 4 videos into the same month. But only 3 of those planned videos actually ended up getting made because when the time came to make the 4th one, I was just burnt out. And the video I scrapped was a Christmas video, which meant it would be weird to do it any other time of the year. What was that video, you may ask? Well, it was only a 10-hour long analysis on why Alpha and Omega 2 is the greatest Christmas movie ever made. Oh wait, I'm sorry, what I meant to say was, it was a 10-hour long analysis on why Alpha and Omega 2, A Howl-A-Day Adventure is the greatest Christmas movie ever made. I had been planning that video for a while, and it stung that I had to cancel it. But ever since it was scrapped, I swore to myself that since it did not get made in December 2021, then it would get made in December 2022. I swore to myself that I would make it happen this time. I kept that video on the schedule for 11.5 months, making sure I would do it. Then the holiday season rolled around, Christmas Eve was in sight, I was about to start making the video, and I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, even after planning on it for an entire year, those plans didn't really fall through. Maybe I'll end up doing that video in 2023, who knows. But why did I end up changing the plan this late? Did I have a sudden emotional breakthrough? Did I realize talking about an Alpha and Omega movie was pointless? Did I realize that maybe Christmas isn't about reviewing animated movies whose quality are poor? Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. No, absolutely none of that stuff happened. Let's talk about the Boss Baby. Oh, how great it is to return to my absolute favorite DreamWorks franchise. This little guy had a first movie that was bad and stupid and objectively worse than A Silent Voice, and then he had a sequel, which was not that good, but at least it had its fair share of good jokes and entertaining moments. Still not as good as A Silent Voice, but hey, at least it's better than Dune. Oh, and outside of those movies, he actually had like 5 TV shows or something. And I guess the demand for even more Boss Baby content was so high because he now has his own holiday special. I had no idea this was coming out or even existed until I saw it pop up on Letterboxd. And of course, me being stupid, I decided to watch it, and it was certainly something. I guess it wasn't the worst thing ever, but like, it's Boss Baby, and like, that's an immediate setback. But I'm gonna review it anyway because why the f not? So as a special treat, here's one more review on something stupid before the year ends. So we start off with the logos and stuffs, and then immediately we get a title card that reads Boss Baby Christmas Bonus. I'm not even a minute in and I already feel like I'm being insulted. I had regrets about my life decisions leading up to that point, but this title card popping up 2 seconds in is just rubbing that in my face. Anyway, so the thing starts and oh yeah, I forgot. Tim got married in the second movie.
And got busy!
So now he has 2 daughters, and the baby is just walking around screaming the word Christmas over and over again. I thought the talking baby was like a secret in the second movie, but I haven't watched that in over a year, so give me a break. So then Tim comes in, and his daughter is all like, "Leave me alone, I'm tweeting!" And in response to this, Tim is all like,
"No pizza for you!"
But it's Christmas Eve, and Tim is here to tell his daughters the story of the first Christmas, but then he gets bored and just puts on Sony Animation's The Star. Also, the text for the opening credits is written in the most basic default font imaginable. Like, this is what I write the scripts for my videos with. Could they not have picked anything else? But no, the stuff with the daughters isn't the actual plot of the episode, it's the story Tim is telling his daughters. But he doesn't like narrate the story throughout the special, and this stuff only comes up at the beginning and the end. Wow, this is such a clever and necessary framing device. Anyways, so the flashback starts and we get a montage revealing that the Boss Baby hates Christmas.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house
not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Then they get in the car and Tim starts talking and like he sounds like he's 17 despite the fact that he's canonically supposed to be 8. And that's because Tim's voice actor in this is actually 17 and they've been using him for almost 5 years despite the fact that puberty hit him long ago.
This isn't a business. We're a family.
You can't contain Templeton traditions to one day.
That's like trying to hold 8 ants in your hand. Too many ants!
I feel so bad for this guy having to dedicate his entire life to Boss Baby, you have no idea. Speaking of voice acting, they go see Santa, and his voice caught me off guard when I first heard it. It sounded familiar, but I just couldn't tell who was doing the voice. Then I looked on Letterboxd and I found out that it's George Lopez? It honestly did not cross my mind at all that he was playing Santa in this. I usually like his voice acting, but he did not try at all here. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Also, they can afford to get George Lopez in this, but they couldn't afford other stuff like good animation. So Boss Baby has a hatred towards Santa for a reason that is never explained. He tries to put a diaper in Santa's sack, but then he falls in the sack and gets sent to the North Pole. Wow, this is like the most original Christmas special I have ever seen. This mix-up causes an actual elf who has the exact same character model as Boss Baby to get stuck at Boss Baby's house. And this elf sounds like a half-rate Jorgen von Strangle, and his name is quite literally Ding Dong.
Are you?
Dongle's name is Ding Dong.
Boss Baby goes to George Lopez and says he wants to go home, but George Lopez is like, no. Since George Lopez won't give Boss Baby a ride, it's now up to Tim, Ding Dong, and these other two babies whose names I do not know to rescue him from the North Pole. To get out of the house, Ding Dong annihilates Tim's parents, which is like the first time I've laughed 11 minutes into this special. In fairness though, the scenes that follow this one are pretty enjoyable, with Boss Baby judging the North Pole headquarters and showing them ways to be more efficient. I don't think the writers have completely given up yet and are still having fun writing this, which is nice to see. Although this does beg the question, since Tim is the one telling the story and he's not in the scene, how does he know what's happening? Is Tim like an all-seeing god in this universe? And who is the Boss Baby version of Jesus?
Are you the baby Jesus?
Meanwhile, Tim and the gang are trying to get to the North Pole, but they miss their chance to leap through the mystical mall portal. You can't make this stuff up. So they can't get to the North Pole through the portal, which apparently exists even though now it has no use in the plot. They naturally do the next best thing and mail themselves to the North Pole, penguins and Madagascar style. But they make the rookie mistake of letting the dumb fat baby write the address instead, and he sends them to North Pole.
It says North Pole. You left out the R.
And that's not the name of a country or anything, it's the name of this random shady dude whose character design looks like it came from Marmaduke. To be fair though, he is the single greatest thing about this special and possibly the greatest character ever made by DreamWorks. How could you not love North Pole? He's so compelling and totally necessary to the plot. If you're wondering why his name is something stupid like North Pole, it's because he changed it so Christmas letters with misspelled addresses would get sent to him and he can sell them for money. I'll give the special this. I've never seen a character with that motivation. Let's all give it up for North Pole, the single greatest Christmas related guy ever. I mean, besides Cactus Pete. So North Pole drops them off at the North Pole, and it was in this shot that I realized that the animation here is really bad. They keep reusing the same backgrounds and character models over and over again, and the character animation is just so stiff. In fairness, this probably had a small budget, and it was probably all made in like a week, so I'll give it a pass. All is not well in the North Pole, however, as all the elves have unionized under Boss Baby and are rising up against Santa. Again, I've never seen this be done in a Christmas special before, so congrats Boss Baby team. But just as Boss Baby is
changing the hierarchy of Christmas,
Santa comes in and does the unthinkable. He puts himself on the naughty list. So Santa leaves and the elves are all like, oh no, even though they were trying to destroy him a minute ago. But then Boss Baby starts doing random stuff with the goose for a reason I forget, and they're all on his anti-Santa strike again. It's so weird. Meanwhile, Santa goes to hang out with Tim's boyfriend, who teaches him to be naughty in a really epic scene. I don't even know what I'm watching or saying anymore, but it's something, I guess. So Boss Baby and the others are doing shenanigans in the North Pole, but thankfully Ding Dong and more importantly North Pole come in to spice things up. Ding Dong gives a speech about how Christmas isn't complete without Santa and how it's all about presents and stuff. That's not the typical Christmas message, but okay. After this very brief speech, all the elves suddenly love Santa and want him back. I swear they flip-flopped like 20 times in the past 20 minutes, just choose a side. Much like the Academy did, they nominate Boss Baby to go get Santa, but thankfully he doesn't want to go. Why do I say thankfully? Because to motivate him to go get Santa, the elves start singing this really amazing song called The Baby That Ruined Christmas. It unironically slaps and is the best part of this entire thing. Yes, even better than North Pole. Nothing is better than North Pole except for Cactus Pete in this song.
He came to the North Pole and started fussing, made Santa cry with all his cussing.
When a song makes the Boss Baby's parents disown him and throw him out of the house, that's how you know it's a banger. So Boss Baby goes to find Santa, and unfortunately North Pole leaves. Aww. Then we get the emotional reconciliation between Boss Baby and Santa. That is a sentence I never thought I would have to say. Then the ending, blah blah blah, and there's a message about tradition, I think, but I don't care. Then they deliver the presents to the whole world in a very boring montage, which is usually supposed to be a very exciting montage for this task. But hey, at least we get to see North Pole one last time, and he reveals his true identity.
Mom? Dad? It's Kyle.
Then when Boss Baby and Tim get home, they do their Christmas traditions, even though in the previous scene they were saying traditions are bad or something like that. What am I saying? This is the Boss Baby. It's not supposed to have morals that make sense. Everyone is merry and cheerful, and Tim's boyfriend gets a sock full of dead dinosaurs. The end. Except it's not, because there was that framing device that hasn't come up throughout this entire thing. Tim's daughters end up bashing the story for its message. Wow, they're doing the critiquing for me. What do you need me for? But no one dares disrespect the Boss Baby Christmas bonus, so Tim summons Ding Dong with the magic button, which is a thing. Ding Dong then annihilates the children.
Okay, all done. Dongle kill kids.
Very funny. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Dongle is serious. The big one deserved it. She stopped feeding the Christmas panda and it died.
What?
And yeah, that's the ending. I swear, that's the actual thing. You don't need to go watch this to find out. Yup, this is certainly one of the Christmas specials I've ever seen. It's surprisingly not that bad by Boss Baby standards and has a couple decent jokes on top of North Pole and the song. But like, it's still a cheap Netflix Boss Baby Christmas special, so you can't expect it to be like, good. I guess I'll give this a 5 out of 10. It was not as good as A Silent Voice or the second movie or even Dune, but hey, it was better than the first one. That's just the Boss Baby Christmas bonus for ya, I guess. Anyways, this will probably be the final video I actually speak in for the remainder of the year. So I wanted to thank you all so much for your support throughout 2022. I've been able to put out a lot of stuff I'm really proud of this year, and it means a lot to me that you keep watching and enjoying it. I look forward to making the projects I'll be bringing you throughout 2023, possibly even the Alpha and Omega 2 review. Until then, have yourself a Merry Christmas and stand North Pole. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, comment down below, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.